Sally goes back to defend, and she doesn't put on the velvet glove. Sawinski takes up the defense. Sally now brings her up to Sawinski. Sawinski's got her. Up to the rail, Sawinski holding it. Turns her over now to Sally. Into the infield for the both of them. She pushed him in, a deliberate fouling. And she flew in there for another mess. Got them all. And time is called. Time is called by the officials. And we'll get an official score in a moment. There it is, 30-18 now. We'll hurry right back in a moment. Stay with us. We're back to the action again, and Ken Monty's come into the ring here. Ken Monty, and incidentally, Mr. Monty, you must be very proud of the way you've induced this team to work on Danny Riley.
That's right. Isn't it just wonderful? Just like I said, Riley's contract is on the line. Parker's going to take it away from him. He'll have to wait for them to reconvene before he can skate again. He does not belong on the Thunderbirds. You and I both know that, Dick. Riley won his first race. It was strictly luck, but the odds have dropped. In the Olympic, Anaheim, San Bernardino, Long Beach, San Diego, with his bad leg, he doesn't stand a chance. And if anybody wants some good money, bet on Parker, because that's where it's at.
Well, don't you bet on it, Mr. Monty. Mr. Riley will take very good care of himself. I talked to him a moment ago. He says this leg is all right. Don't you worry about me. Just tell
That's
Mr.
Monty.
Monty.
I'll have something to say to you about later about this me kicking business. I'll tell you that right now, dude.
I can see what's going on. I saw what you kicked him, and you got this team to everybody to kick that leg. Danny's back, coming back on the track again. He's all right. Oh, what a mess that man is. The Jammers are up in scoring position, and the defenses are holding. They reverse. Here comes Earlene Brown and big DC-10 Paddy Cabin. They got him in bear hogs, and they're holding. Where are you going from there? They've got them both. They're holding him until the count is out, and then drop him. They're trying to call 1 point there. One. They got 1 point. Into the infield now here. Look out now. Judy Arnold slapped. Judy Arnold just reached in and slapped Dave Pound's face. Well, they went to work in the infield on Mr. Trotter. Oh, they dropped the 747 and a DC-10 in on that guy. And he's a skinny little old man now. Big King Jim Trotter. Boy, did they take him down and flatten him out. Judy Arnold reached in and slapped Dave Pound's face. I saw right here in front of us. That's Trotter, thinned out. Judy Arnold up in front. Judy Sawinski engineering at the front of the pack for the Thunderbirds. Calling for the Jammers. The Jammers are set. The whistle blows to the Jam, and getting up on top, Lynn Congleton, number 66 for the Warriors. The Thunderbirds are calling for speed, and they get it. Sally Vega. She's on her way. After Congleton, the other gal on the inside, Ogben, is not a jammer. Sally takes them both out. Thunderbirds are trailing 31-18, and she's hurrying. The Thunderbirds are holding at the front of the pack. Arnold back to defend against Vega. Vega comes again and is lifted high to the rail. And again, out of the pack late. We got Sawinski coming out of the pack late. Sawinski, number 5, is hurrying. Nobody saw her but us. There's 1, 2, 3, that's 2 each. And they fly right in there for 10. That's 10 in my book. That's 10 in my book. And the Thunderbirds are roaring back. Nobody's going to stop this spirit. These are the Thunderbird fans, believe me. Sally Vega got out and was joined by Sawinski. And despite the roughness and the defense, they've walked in there for 10 big ones. A beautiful play. Oh, again. Judy Arnold slapped Pound's face. Now, Pound is too much of a gentleman to do anything about that. Believe me, he wouldn't strike that woman. Believe me, he wouldn't. But that's aggravation. That's the kind of aggravation you get. Monty, Quarles, and everybody after him. 36-28, the Warriors in front. We'll be right back to the men in the final period. Trouble in here. Judy Arnold wants everybody. Vega, everybody. Slapping people's faces. Jess Adams goes in there to do what he can. But they're not going to stop these Thunderbirds. Believe me, they're not. The men are on the track for the final skating period. They call for speed, and they get it. Here we go, the little Indian and number 5, Charlie Saunders special. That's the junior. And here comes number 66, that's little Richard Brown. Brown passes them like a hobo pacing. Look out, look out, look out for the defenses at the back of the pack. And Trotter sends him in there for 3 good ones. With an assist from Jim Trotter. 3 more for the Warriors. They're flying. I want to see Danny Riley's leg. Danny's on the track and he looks good. All you T-Bird fans, wherever you are, particularly in Los Angeles, you may call Richmond 9-5171 for information or about everything that happens to the Thunderbirds wherever they are, and regarding anti-inflation prices as well. Richmond 9-5171, you can ring it at any time. Yes, sirree. We want you to know that anti-inflation prices are in effect wherever the Thunderbirds play. Jim Trotter and Danny Riley. Danny's leg looks good. He's got it taped up like a mummy. Bingo! Goodbye, Trotter! Danny left him like a pay car passing a hobo. Little Richard Brown back to defend. Now the big King takes it up. Boy, they hit hard. And again, they hit hard. Danny took one in the face that time. And to the head. And again to the head. He's holding at the head. Don't lock your hands, man, or you're in trouble. Roughing around his face. He doesn't even want him to see where he's going. They worked on the leg, then they work on his head. Then he comes back. Oh, again. Here comes Big John Johnson, but he's a little late. Danny Riley down again. Boy, that hurts me. And I know it hurts the Thunderbirds and Thunderbird fans as well. Big John and Big Jim. They're having at it now. I've been watching that leg. Dave Pound is back in the room here again. Dave, have you talked to Danny? Danny looks pretty good, but he's hurt.
You know, in that first match race, Monty kicked him in that leg, so it's pretty painful for him. I didn't think he was going to have any trouble at all in winning these races, but if you were making a bet on it, I would have to say the odds have dropped. You know, it's like Riley and Vega are back, but now are they going to stay? You know, can we keep them? So it's going to be exciting to see what happens in those races. I feel confident that Dan will be able to handle it, but when you've got people out there like Monty or Parker, you never know. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, I know this, that Danny Riley nodded to me as he came in. He says, I got some tape on here. I'm all right. He said, I'll make my match races and I'll win them. Thunderbird set
The
again.
enthusiasm is there and the dedication is there. So when he tells you and he's got that kind of attitude, you know he's going to be there and win.
Well, he's got a lot of them to go for. He's got to win 4 out of 6.
That's right, and that's you know, at the Olympic and in Anaheim, San Bernardino, Long Beach, and in San Diego. So we'll find out just exactly whether Parker is all mouth or whether he has any ability. Because I know Danny is out to get him.
And he'll get him, believe me. Here he whips his man out, and that's little Greg Quinn. Quinn's on his way. Danny gave him a whip, he'll remember. And he's on his way, coming up to the gate, Big King Trotter. Trotter, no, that's Otis Williams at the back of the pack. Trotter sitting in the penalty box. Otis Williams, a big, strong, powerful athlete, this fellow. And just as rough as he can be. Danny back to assist now. The jammer is number 3, Greg Quinn. Danny takes a look at the situation, sizes it up. Big John Johnson up in front to hold the pack along with Tommy Cruz. And here's the run for the Roses. A solid whip. In there, like that. And he got him. 5 big ones for the Thunderbirds. And they're flying right back. The Thunderbirds, with some games coming up, they'll have a plenty of them. They'll be in Peoria, Illinois, St. Louis at Kiel Auditorium, at Terre Haute, Indiana, and Chicago at Villa Park. That's on the west side of Chicago at a fine new arena, the Hat Trick Arena. It's a lovely place to see the game outside Chicago. And the game is on here, and believe me, wherever it's shown, make your plans to be there, right out on the edge of your seat. That's the place to enjoy the roller game. But take a tip from me, make your reservations and pick them up. Have them in your hot little hand. Plenty of games coming up. You'll be seen in Louisville, Kentucky, Lockport, Illinois, Kankakee, Illinois. We'll keep you posted. Stay right with us, watch your listings, and when the game is played in your town, pick out a seat and be there. And remember, anti-inflation prices wherever the Thunderbirds play. You can call for information regarding any games where the Thunderbirds are concerned in Los Angeles at Richmond 9-5171. Richmond 9-5171. You can ring it right now. They call for speed, and here we go. Little Richard Brown and the King out there against Danny Riley and the King, Big Johnny Johnson. They plow in and they spring the little guy loose. Little Richard is on his way alone. That was a well-executed play, but it set it up for little Richard. Richard moves in and he finds Riley back there to defend. Trotter back to assist. Big John holding a helmet in his hand. He's not a jammer now. They try it. A rocker pulls him in there for 2. A good play. He's at the top for 4. He's got Quinn in front of him. He wants 5. He's got speed to beat now. He slammed the door on him. He got 4, and that's all. Quinn pulled him right up to the defenses and then lost him. Little Richard is down. Jess Adams over there to minister to his little man. Boy, he's a nasty little man. Wouldn't it be nice if he was a much nicer person? He's a terrific skater. But believe me, we've got some terrific skaters on this Thunderbird team too. I don't care where you go, you won't find them with more spirit, more determination, regardless of the things they hang on them. The collusion, the conspiracy, the trickery that's been used against this team just will not stop them. That's a spirit they inherited, a legacy they got from a great lady. And you all know what I'm talking about. They put a helmet on speed this time. John Drew for 1. With 1 minute and 53 seconds to go. 43-33, the Thunderbirds are trailing by 10. With 1 minute and 45 seconds to go, they need 10 to tie, 11 to win. They've got to go. The Warriors in front by 10. And Big Jim Trotter out there. Riley's leg looks good. He's not gimping on it. He's taped up. He whacks in there. Flies in and he's got him. And they turn the speed loose. Greg Quinn is out now. Finn is out. Listen to these fans. Go, go, go. And go he does. Riley's calling for him to go for more. I want to see that score. 9. Now they need 1 to tie, 2 to win. 1 to tie with 50 seconds. And the Warriors are stalling. The Warriors are stalling. Protecting a 1-point lead. 40 seconds remaining. And the fans are yelling, go, go, go. They put a helmet on Danny Riley. They're putting it all on Riley. He needs 1 to tie, 2 to win. He's got to get 2. Big John says, come on, pal. Riley's flying. 20 seconds to go. He'll make it. Whoa, Nelly, here comes Riley. 9 seconds to go. He needs 2. He needs 2. 3 seconds to go. 2, 1, and he made it. Danny Riley made it. I'm not going to worry about Danny in those match races. He'll take them all. That leg is in good shape. Ho, ho, ho. The Thunderbirds got 2 to spare. I'm not going to worry about Danny Riley in those match races. With that bum leg, he got out there like he had never been hurt. He's taped up, but believe me, he showed us tonight that he's not going to worry one solitary bit about those match races. I don't care where they are. He'll be out there and he'll win them all. He's got to win 4 out of 6. He's won his first one, even though they did try to cripple him. And again in this game, they try to cripple him.
Hi out there, everybody. The National Skating Derby is presenting the Roller Game of the Week. From the Philadelphia Arena, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, today's big game, your world champion Warriors versus the Canadian Braves with Lester Quarles. We're in the first skating period. The girls on the track, and the score. The Warriors 1, the Canadian Braves nothing. And right now, Diane Severson knocking Judy Arnold against the rail. Riggins getting knocked against the rail. There's Congleton moving out on a late chase, but it looks like a few big Brave points here. Severson up front. Now Congleton is rolling. Congleton, the lead jammer right now. And there's Lynn. They call the play off, and let's see how they're going to signal. 3 Canadian Brave points. 3 Canadian Brave points, and the scoreboard reading now, the Braves 3 and the Warriors 1. Number 7, Captain Diane Severson. Number 62 is Judy Sowinski. Well, the big news, fans, last week, that's right, little Richard Brown. The good news, I should say, little Richard Brown defeated Dave Pound. That's right, he defeated Pound 4 straight, which means now the pressure is off, thank goodness. Judy Sowinski, along with Richard, remain with the Warriors. Yes, sir, it was a close match race, a very hard-fought match race at that. Well, Richard, and along with the 2 Judys, remain with the Warriors. That is the big news and the great news right now. All right, back to the jamming action. The little Mighty Mite. Yvonne Riggins now getting the nod from Jane Canavan. Riggins, number 61, being pursued by number 4, Skinny Minnie, Glenn Miller going down. So the spotlight is on Yvonne Riggins, and at the present time, the only jammer eligible to score. Now, Captain Severson is sending back Gwen Miller on defense. Riggins moving up now. The little Mighty Mite, and this gal can fly. Riggins, can she get by? All right, now there's Gwen Miller. Gwen Miller on defense. Riggins trying to get by. This little skinny mini, Gwen Miller, that gal can block, she can jam, and hey, Riggins getting by, outmaneuvering Gwen Miller, but Riggins up to a tough one, and big Diane Severson. Severson now grappling with Riggins. Riggins trying to get out of there, time running out, and Gwen Miller. What a play, a real ferocious play there by the Canadian Braves. And look at little Leroy Lambert. In case you don't know who that young fella is out there, that is Lester Quarles, a sidekick. And Leroy Lambert is trying to, well, make a date there with Yvonne Riggins. He loves her. This guy actually loves Yvonne Riggins. And there's Lester Quarles, and there's another story. Now, Lester and Leroy Lambert were to be towel boys for this game. That's right. That was the stipulation. If Little Richard defeated Dave Pound in that 4th and final match race, then Lester, along with his sidekick Leroy Lambert, would become towel boys for the Warriors. But they haven't complied, and I'll tell you, very poor sportsmen at that. No doubt about it. All right, back to the jamming action, the score. The Braves 3 and the Warriors 2. Up front, Julia Sutton, and she's going to whip out her captain, Diane Severson. Can you imagine little Leroy Lambert? Well, I'll tell you, he digs little Yvonne Riggins, and Riggins won't even look at him the second time. But little Leroy. Okay, Severson now, and there's Congleton up, and Severson on that leg block drops Congleton. Canavan going down, and the lead jammer, Captain Diane Severson. Now, Judy Arnold drops back. Arnold, and listen to fans here at the Philadelphia Arena. Arnold on defense. And let's see how Judy Arnold fares. Oh, there's that hip check. Severson down. Severson back up. Severson getting back up. All right, Arnold, and there's Trevino, and look at Trevino. A fine play there by the Canadian Braves. Trevino taking down Arnold, enabling Diane Severson to get by the pack, place her hands on her hips, call the play off, and a total of 4 Canadian Brave points. The scoreboard reading now, the Braves 7 and the Warriors 2. Well, you know, the brand new 1975 season is just right around the corner. That's right. You're going to see those 2 little individuals, Lester Quarles and Leroy Lambert, along with the Canadian Braves, Friday night, January the 3rd at the Spectrum. That's Friday night, January 3rd at the Spectrum. And tickets go on sale beginning this Monday. So keep it in mind. More about that in a moment. The pack getting intact now. 3:10 remaining in this first skating period. Judy Sowinski up front now. There's Arnold. And number 3, Sutton whipping out Nitsa Ponce. Nitsa Ponce, number 6, the lead jammer. And number 64, keeping her company, is Bessie Gonzalez. Gonzalez unloading on Ponce. Ponce still on her feet. Bessie now trying to go all the way. And right now, we've got a 2-on-2 situation. 2 Braves and 2 Warriors. All right, there's Gonzalez, Ponce, Trevino. They're double teaming on Gonzalez. Congleton trying to help out. Now both Gonzalez and Congleton recover, but the Braves up front with the lead. All right, dropping back as the decoy is Gwen Miller. There's Congleton trying to break it open. It may work. Gonzalez jumping over the 3 skaters. Now Gonzalez up and under. Yes, Gonzalez. Listen to the happy Warrior fans Philadelphia Arena. Right to Arnold and Severson, ready to go do battle. There's Arnold and Severson, look out. Can you picture the brand new season? Oh, brother. And the Warriors will have their hands full, no doubt, with the Canadian Braves. And for you fans in the Baltimore, Washington area, well, the season opener there will be Saturday night, January 4 at the big, beautiful Capitol Center. That's right, Saturday night, January 4. Keep it in mind. Tickets on sale right now. And keep it in mind, take advantage of it. As we always say, you can't afford to be shut out. Well, look at Leroy Lambert shining Quarles' shoes, and look at little Richard. Richard very much upset, you know. Now, both Quarles and Leroy Lambert were to be towel boys for the Warriors, but they reneged, and Richard very much upset. All right, back to the jamming action. The little mighty Mike Riggins and Gwen Miller. These two gals can fly, but right now, this Gwen Miller, well, her wing didn't flip the right way, so Riggins now, the lead jammer, and at the present time, the only jammer eligible to score. All right, no doubt this will be the last jam of the period. Riggins now on the move. Gwen Miller dropping back on defense. Riggins now. Can she beat the clock? Riggins trying to go. There's Gwen Miller. Now that little Gwen Miller, as I mentioned before, she can block. This gal very versatile. Riggins knows it. Riggins again. Outmaneuvers Gwen Miller. She's up to big Diane Severson. Gwen Miller. Oh yeah! That block backfired. Listen to the happy fans. Riggins trying to go. Time running out in the jam of the period. Riggins may do it. She's up on the inside. Riggins trying to call it off, going down. The jam is still on. Now look at little Leroy. Little Leroy Lambert. Unbelievable. Leroy Lambert tried to help Yvonne back on her feet, tried to give Yvonne a kiss, and Yvonne just comes right back with a kiss. A slap on the old kisser. And look at Lester Quarles. Lester Quarles. Little Leroy Lambert trying to make love to Riggins. Well, the first period coming to an end. Don't you go away with the score. Warriors 9, Braves 7. You stay right with us. More action, but first, let's pause for a moment. Tickets will go on sale. Time back in, the men on the track for the second skating period. The score, the Warriors 9, the Canadian Braves 7. Well, Lester Quarles from the infield, the owner of the Canadian Braves. Well, Quarles and Lambert, you know, they were to be towel boys for this particular game, but they reneged, and Richard, little Richard Brown, very much upset. Well, we'll have more on that in a moment, right after this jam. The number 61 is Dave Arndt, the lead jammer, and at the present time, the only jammer eligible to score. This little fella is really coming to his own. David Arndt. All right, this fella hails from Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. All right, Kellyanne Rupert now defending here. All right, right behind Arndt is number 4, Sam Evans. And okay, there's Willie Brown as a decoy. Can they shuffle around? Rupert and Kelly. Oh, brother. They just held back Dave Arndt. I don't know if the officials caught it. And look at Arndt. He outmaneuvers Rupert and he gets by Kelly. And what do you know? 2 big Warrior points picked up by Dave Arndt. And that's what we call tenacity of purpose. And that little weasel there, Leroy Lambert, grabbing Quarles' briefcase and trying to go after Dave Arndt with it. And look at Leroy, little Leroy Lambert, the tallest little midget in the world. A 3-footer. What a character. That fella.